you for everything you've done for public education. Thank you again. But we all have to understand, kind of starts at home as parents. And the last question is, Mr. Obama, I am a president of the board of a weatherization program here in New Mexico. And I heard you did the same thing in Chicago. And I thank you. It's a nonprofit organization that has helped a lot of New Mexicans here in New Mexico. Central New Mexico Housing Corporation is a nonprofit organization helping lower income people with their homes. For example, you had mentioned that a lot of people can't afford to upgrade their homes, things that they need. Well, we are able to provide assistance through Washington, the state of New Mexico, and some other agencies to provide free assistance for a lot of elderly or people who are meet certain criteria. So I want to say thank you again for that weatherization program. It has helped a lot of New Mexicans, as myself, as mortgage modification, as a personal friend of yours. I want to say thank you because it has helped my family.
I appreciate that. That's
it has helped me. Thank you.
You're welcome. And you know, people sometimes ask, well, how, you know, boy, you're working pretty hard and got all these issues coming at you, and how do you sort of stay focused and sane? You know, it's hearing stories like yours, where if we did something that actually helps a family stay in their home, or, you know, you meet a mom who says, my kid's now getting health insurance and they weren't getting it before, you feel a great satisfaction. I know Diane and Congressman and Bill, you know, all feel the same way about it. So it's great to hear. Let me just say something about the weatherization issue, which I think is so important. You know, we've got to change how we use energy in this country.
Yes, sir.
And I know that Bill's been committed to this. Diane's committed to continuing this enormous progress. New Mexico's been at the forefront in thinking about solar and wind. One of the most important things that we can do is something that doesn't require all kinds of new technology, doesn't require huge, fancy investments. It's just making our buildings, our homes, our schools, our hospitals more energy efficient. Putting up insulation, getting new windows, caulking, getting a new energy efficient HVAC system. These things, if we did it across the board, across the country, it could not only drastically reduce people's electricity bills, drastically reduce their heating bills, their air conditioning bills, their gas bills, it could also go about a third of the way in solving the problems of climate change and the pollution that is causing the temperatures around the globe to get warmer. So it's an environmental win, and it's a pocketbook win. And it creates businesses, because you can have a whole bunch of mom and pop, you know, HVAC companies who suddenly they're out there getting business, retrofitting homes to make them energy efficient. And small businesses can grow into larger businesses, can grow into bigger businesses. I met a business in Seattle, Washington that started off as a small mom and pop plumbing operation. And they now have 1,000 employees, and they're ranked as one of the, you know, top 10 companies to work for in the state of Washington. They've got, you know, unionized tradesmen working alongside computer experts who diagram how, you know, the entire energy system of a school or a hospital works, and then they go in there and they, you know, redo it soup to nuts. Now, we made a huge investment in the Recovery Act on this issue of clean energy and weatherization. But this is, again, an example of where, you know, there's just a strong difference between the two parties. You know, the other side, they really have not shown much of an interest in promoting this. And the irony is that you can actually get your money back on this. See, a lot of homeowners would love to do it. They'd get their money back over time. It would pay for itself, but if you don't have $5,000 up front to do it, you can't do it, even though you know you'd get the $5,000 back over the course of 5 years. So a lot of these programs are designed to say, we're just going to give you a loan up front so that you can go ahead and do it, and as you then recoup your money, you can pay some of it back. It is something that is smart to do. We're seeing states start to implement it, but we've got to, I think, keep on pushing harder. The more we do this, the more efficient our economy as a whole is going to be, and that's going to mean more growth and more jobs in the future. So, and by the way, last point I'll make, I can't agree with you enough about the parent thing. I was on an interview with Matt Lauer yesterday, and they asked me about parents. I said, look, Malia and Sasha, as wonderful as they are great students, but if Michelle and I weren't supervising them, they'd come home, they'd turn on the TV, they'd watch TV all night, or be on their computers, or talking to their friends, right? So even in the White House, you know, the key ingredient is parenting, and just, you know, making sure your kids are focused on school. Teachers can help, but parents, they've got to get those kids started in the right direction. All right.
Thank you.
Yes, right here.
Hello, Mr. President. Thank you for coming to the South Valley.
Yeah, it's great
really
to be here.
A great opportunity, and I thank the Cavalier family for, you know, inviting me and my husband. I have 3 questions, and they're kind of hot topic questions, and I'll just...
All 3 of them?
All 3 of them.
You didn't slip in like a sort of a easy, boring one in there with a...
No.
All right, let's hear
One of them is basically Mother Teresa answered it in an article, and I was going to ask you the same because I loved her answer. The first one is, why are you a Christian? Second one is, there's really no laws about the abortion law and when a woman can and can't have an abortion, whether it's 2 months or 8 months. And what is your view on that? And the third one, it is a hot topic, but it's literally a hot topic. And it's about my husband's chili peppers. And that was my question. Would you please take some chili peppers home with you? When's a habanero?
I will definitely check out these chili peppers. I like spicy food to go with your spicy questions.
Spicy.
You know, I'm a Christian by choice. You know, my family didn't, you know, frankly, they weren't folks who went to church every week. I mean, my mother was one of the most spiritual people I knew, but she didn't raise me in the church. So I came to my Christian faith later in life, and it was because the precepts of Jesus Christ spoke to me in terms of the kind of life that I would want to lead. Being my brothers and sisters' keeper, treating others as they would treat me. And I think also understanding that, you know, that Jesus Christ dying for my sins spoke to the humility we all have to have as human beings, that we're sinful and we're flawed and we make mistakes, and that you know, we achieve salvation through